Well, we have a number of very exciting new exhibitors. I'm happy to say that in all our sectors, in fact, for example, in modern, a gallery like Helene Ahmad is coming for the first time from New York with very important works from the modern period. It's a great honour to have this gallery exhibiting with us. Also, tastemakers, leaders of opinion in the contemporary art world who are making their first appearance at FIAC, for example, Gavin Brown's Enterprise. It's an honour also to have this gallery, and a number of very exciting younger galleries from different countries like Rodeo from Istanbul, or Mary from Glasgow, the Third Line from Dubai, making all of these galleries their debut at FIAC, or a very young French gallery, Sami Abraham, because as you know, FIAC is also a fair where we have a very, I hope, acute focus on very emerging art. So this is all new and exciting, and also I have to say we have a very significant, yes, I would say structural almost change in terms of the way we will be able to invest the Grand Palais, because this year, for the very first time, and it's been closed for decades, and we're at the end of a process now of about 5 years of very intensive renovation. The historic centre of the Grand Palais, Palais de la Découverte architectural ensemble, called the Salon d'Honneur, the Salon of Honour, which carries well its name. It's the most prestigious, the most noble and the most beautiful by the details of its ornamentation and proportions, will be opened and inaugurated as an exhibition space. France has a representation of about 34% in the fair, which is very important. It's a statistic that I'm particularly proud of. We are the international art fair that has the largest national representation, and it's something that says a lot about the strength and vitality of the French situation. These galleries are all of them of considerable repute. There are 24 countries represented at FIAC this year. The country that's the most represented after France is the United States of America, which is significant, I think. There is a great deal of interest in FIAC from across the Atlantic, and the country that is just represented almost equally with the United States of America. Just below is Germany, which is very nice too, because our position as a European fair, I think it's part of our identity. And there again, I'm happy to be able to say that among the international art fairs, FIAC is the most European of the international art fairs. We take into account our geographical and historic identity as a Parisian, French and European fair, even though, and once again, it's wonderful, and it's a recognition, I think, of what the French situation can provide. 24 countries are represented, and the country that's leading national representation after France is the United States. I think that competition between art fairs has always existed. Has it become stronger of late? I think that there are a certain number of fairs of which FIAC is a part that seem to have crystallized as the world leading fairs, and so therefore, there's this English or American saying, it's tough at the top. Well, yes, it is tough at the top, and nobody warrants or merits that situation. You have to achieve it and constantly prove that that is indeed your place. Paris is a dream city, objectively, and it has been re-evaluated over the last few years. Paris is not considered as this stuffy, boring museum city that it once was. So this is also something which is, without having to hire an advertising agency to find a great baseline for us. We actually work in a very strong, very exciting cultural situation which the world actually envies. I would like the fair to have to be attractive. If you think about it, sex appeal. What's sex appeal? If that means that the fair creates desire. Well, yes, of course, yes. I'd love it. I'd love the fair to have sex appeal, and yes, because I think that desire is important. It's certainly a very strong motor for human beings in general, and in art as well. And so yes, why not? Yeah. This is part of the exhibition context that when I say exhibition context, I also mean in terms of who attends the fair. It's true that increasingly, and it's been quite noticeable over the last couple of years, FIAC is really on the map internationally in terms of the collectors as well. We have collectors coming from the Philippines, China, Brazil, Argentina, from the Middle East, from Russia, and of course from Europe, and the French collectors, which I have to say nobody underestimates anymore, and at all levels of the market in a very active fashion. So yes, it is a place which attracts. Because of its desirability, going back to our previous vocabulary, a public from all over the world, and this is part of what I feel we as fair organisers must provide for our exhibitors, but also to our public, collectors, curators, young people that are perhaps envisaging a career or an occupation in the visual arts, and that do find in events like FIAC a place where they can meet like-minded people. A fair also has a very strong, I think, social role to play. It's a place where a community can federate. Identify itself, and also derive pride from belonging to that community. This is something I've heard over the last few years, that the fair, since it's become once again a strong fair, has given a new sense of pride to the French galleries, which of course I'm very proud of. As an achievement, but also to the French community of collectors, a new sense of pride in their local situation, local meaning Paris and France, and Europe, and I think that that's very important, because it's dynamic. it's dynamic and it's productive. So perhaps that's also to do with desirability.